turn in the corner, a little floater, up and over the backboard. Okay, give him an H. Poked away. Here comes Caruso now. Grant is there, and Caruso with a one-handed jam.
Rise up, young man.
Porter on the cut. Oh, he's met at the rim by Davis. Porter had a cock back. He was ready to throw it down. Now James will shoot an open jumper. He's got it. Timeout on the floor. James again. Oh, he hits another one. Now Murray on LeBron James. Trying to stay with him as best he can. LeBron James hits one for LA. He'll take a three. LeBron James will hit a three.
Wow.
Oh, how about it? LeBron James pulling out all the daggers here in the fourth quarter. Trying to disrupt Rondo. He puts it in. Here's Davis, 4-3 in the win. Oh, it's good! Anthony Davis has won it for the Lakers! Anthony Davis is going to send the Lakers to a 2-0 series lead. In the clutch, delivers the bomb.
Welcome back to another episode of Lakeshow's Finest Redux. I'm your host, Charles Ryan, KB24 status, or yours truly, the biggest Lakers fan in the world. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. I haven't seen a beatdown like that in a finals game in a while. But more importantly, I haven't seen a team, the Miami Heat, just give up. when they were down by 32 in the middle of the third, you can just tell their body language, everything. They just gave up. They weren't putting any effort on defense, getting back in transition, and this is with 18 minutes left in the game. I'm surprised that the Lakers somewhat let them back in it, but we followed their cues and took our foot off the gas as well. But the Heat that was an abomination. That was embarrassing. Every single Heat possession, they almost did everything wrong. They overhelped. They played zones when they were supposed to. I don't get Spoelstra's rotations of having a 6'8" guy on Jay Crowder on Anthony Davis at all. And then constantly the Heat would just try to leak out in fast breaks and wouldn't even try to get the offensive rebounds. When you have three guys that are in there, LeBron, AD, and Dwight, or even Kuzma, for example, they're taller than the rest of the guys. The Heat went small for no reason. When they brought in Kelly Olynyk, offensively he was terrible, but defensively it actually got them some length in there. But obviously it was too late. This was a really weird game to watch, and almost every play, I just said, what are the Heat doing? And the Lakers, they played great defense, but more importantly, they just exposed the Heat zone, and they're just lazy, basic, fundamental defensive things. Boxing out, maybe, I don't know, when you double someone, help out after. The frickin' closeouts were terrible. I haven't seen defense like that from a championship caliber team, quote unquote. Probably, I don't know. It's been a while. That is not a championship team over there. That is a team full of guys that got too high on a win versus Milwaukee Bucks, and they don't have it. And you know what? Injuries are part of the game. It looks like Dragic is out with plantar fasciitis, whatever that is. I mean, I know what it is, but I just remember it. Pau Gasol had it for several years when he was on the Lakers in the early 2010s. And, he's out. It looks like Bam might play, but it's over, man. Bam was just terrible offensively. He probably finished with, 8, 9, whatever points he had. Defensively, he was awful. Just awful. Bam had 8 points. He was 2 for 8 from the field. Yes, it was in 28 minutes he came out. But Dwight gave him a forearm shiver right to the shoulder or arm, wherever he was hurt. And I don't know if Dwight knew what he was doing. I don't know if he knew, hey, man, this guy's vulnerable. He's been dealing with an injury right here. But he went for it, and it might have been a dirty forearm shiver. But that's basketball, man. This is the NBA Finals. And the Heat should be embarrassed. Duncan Robinson, 0 points, 0 for 3. Why were they putting, I know this is maybe not politically correct to say, why were they putting white people on LeBron James? Especially white people that are like 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". It didn't make any sense to me. LeBron James is 100 pounds on most of these munchkins. And whenever Dragic got switched on to LeBron, it was game over. And I don't know how many times the Heat would just let LeBron walk in for a layup. Even when the layup was contested, LeBron just got on his offhand and made a layup easily. And you got to give the Lakers credit, too. They were really hot from the free throw line and the three-point line in the first half. They were like 13 for 20 like in the first 2 quarters or like 2.5 quarters, and they cooled off because they played down to the competition at the end. But they only missed 2 free throws. They were 25 for 27, and the Heat missed 3. I understand the Lakers got many more calls on the free throw line than the Heat did, but the Heat were not aggressive, man. They shot 36 threes, okay? I'm sorry, that was wrong. They shot 35 threes, all right? That's not... The Heat shouldn't be doing that, all right? They should be giving it to Jimmy Butler, getting penetration looks. I don't know what was going on there. It was just very weird. And even Jeff Van Gundy, the announcer, kept saying, this is flipped. Usually the Heat are the much better three-point shooting team, and the Lakers just came out hot. I believe they had 11 threes in the first half for 33 points out of their 65 points, or 65 points in the first half. That's over half of their points. I don't know what I was watching. I really don't. And I don't know if I even said this on the last podcast, because I did not do a podcast for Game 5 of the Nuggets because it was already over. I really, truly thought this would be a sweep, all right? I don't think it'll be a gentleman's sweep, 4-1 like we did 3 times in a row. I think this is a sweep. The injury, I guess, kind of helps the Lakers, but injuries are part of the game with Dragic, and we are just clearly better on every single aspect of the game. It was disgusting to watch this game. I mean, maybe I'm coming off a presidential debate last night where I couldn't believe what I was saying, but this was unbelievable. I mean, the Lakers allowed, 67 points in the first 3 quarters. You can't ask for much better defense than that, man. Lakers had 100 points in like the first through. I'll tell you exactly how many had. They had they had 97 points through 3 quarters, and the Heat had 67. All right, that was embarrassing. All right, I don't know what I was watching once again. That was crazy. I don't even know if it's worth reading through all the stats because this is over. And Spoelstra got to take a lot of responsibility. His rotations were terrible. And more importantly, when he put Jimmy Butler back in the game with 7 minutes left, and then Jimmy Butler almost got hurt again. He tweaked his ankle again. That was absolutely insane. Made no sense at all. And the Heat did not lead at all after the after the first quarter. The Lakers had at the start of the first quarter, they had a 2 or 3 point lead. The Heat never led again except for once, up by 1 point in the second. So the Lakers it was very clear to me that they were trying to feel out the Heat because we went 2-0 against the Heat, and these 2 games in the regular season were in November and December. And this was not the same team as then. That's 9 months ago. Tyler Hero might as well be on his second season because this is basically a new season. And we just figured them out right away. They could not play zone. Lakers keep driving and kicking, and somehow there'd be open lanes for wide open layups in an NBA final game. I don't know what the Heat have to do because I don't think there's any chance that the Heat even take a 10-point lead in the next 3 games. The Heat were up by 13 this game, and that was early, right? But the Lakers just know how to destroy them. And you could tell on all the players' faces on the bench, even in the third quarter, they were demoralized. They were shocked, and Spoelstra should be embarrassed. I'll go through the stats, but this game, craziest game I've ever seen. Just flat out, clear advantages everywhere for the Los Angeles Lakers. The final score, 116-98. The Los Angeles Lakers played incredible defense for most of the game. 36 rebounds for the Heat, 54 for the Lakers, plus 18 rebounding. 9 offensive rebounds for the Lakers, 5 for the Heat. 45 defensive rebounds for the Lakers, 31 for the Heat. Almost every time they shot the ball, 4 Lakers collapsed at the rim and got the rebound. There's only a few offensive rebounds that the Heat had, and those were long 3 off the back of the rim rebounds where, sometimes you get a lucky bounce going at the 3-point line on a missed shot. But the Lakers were just there to get rebounds, and the Heat were not at all. There was a point in the game where the Lakers were shooting 70% from 3. It was like 13 for 18, something crazy like that. And we didn't finish that, but that's why the Heat only had 36 rebounds, because we just made everything early, man. And at the end, it just didn't matter. 23 assists for the Heat, 26 for the Lakers. LeBron almost had triple-double. He was one off. But, man, we really slowed up the offense at the end, and they would have had 30, 40 assists, and they would have been running all over the place on rebounds, but they didn't, and that was purposeful there. 4 steals from the Heat, 7 for the Lakers, 5 block for the Heat, 8 for the Lakers. The only positive that the Heat had this game statistically in terms of team stats was they had 4 less turnovers than the Lakers. The Lakers had 12, the Heat had 8. Field goal percentage, Lakers were 45%, 38 for 84. Heat were 43%, 38 for 89. 3-point percentage, 11 for 35 from the Heat for 31%. Lakers 15 for 38 for 40%. Free throw percentage, 78 for the Heat, 11 for 14 from the line. Lakers, 92%, 25 for 27. I was really proud Dwight Howard made his free throws, man. I think Caruso missed one and LeBron missed one. That was like the only, I think, misses, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, LeBron missed one and Caruso missed one. Fast break points. The Lakers, I don't think this stat is always accurate. I'm not really sure how truthful this is, but on ESPN.com it says the Lakers had 10 and the Heat had 12. I don't know if they're not counting transition off rebounds, because those are kind of fast breaks. When Lakers get a rebound and LeBron James and Rondo are about to throw it ahead, points in the paint, Lakers had 38, Heat had 46. We made so many threes. Our largest lead was 32. Their largest lead was 13. And the Heat had 16 points off for 12 turnovers, and Lakers had 14 off the Heat's 8 turnovers. Biggest lead 13 for the Heat, biggest lead 32 for the Lakers. There was 3 lead changes. All occurred in the first except for once in the second. The longest run was 13. I believe that was by the Lakers. I could be wrong, though. There's 3 lead changes. Okay, let's go to the player stats real fast. I want to wrap this up real fast because that was the weirdest game I've ever seen from a championship caliber team, apparently. LeBron James, 36 minutes, 25 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 steal. Anthony Davis, 34 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks. Dwight Howard, 14 minutes, 2 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover. He did his job, got the rebounds. Anthony Davis was a plus 23, the most in the game. Every single time Anthony Davis had the ball, he had an advantage, period. It didn't matter who was on him. It just didn't. He can beat you in so many ways, obviously, but you cannot match up with him, with a guy much shorter. And then double, and leave the guy they double wide open and don't rotate to that three-point shooter, which the Lakers were obviously unconscious from beyond the arc. So, Danny Green, 29 minutes. He played solid, 11 points, 4 for 9, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, 3 blocks for Danny Green. Danny Green was awesome defensively. And KCP, he played really well at first, and then his offense kind of fell off. He was kind of hobbled at the end, it seemed like. There was a point where he was on the bench and getting worked on by the trainers. Kind of a little bit concerning there, but we really need KCP. KCP is awesome. He started so hot in the beginning, but he is an X factor. He really is. He's like Caruso, man. And whenever KCP and Danny Green play well, usually it's translated into a W. Kuzma did not play too hot. 22 minutes, 3 points, 1 for 7 from the field, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal. Rondo, a subpar game, but he didn't need to be fantastic. 7 points, 2 for 7 from the field, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover. Caruso, 21 minutes, 10 points, 4 for 6, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 turnover, 1 steal. Caruso was awesome, man. So many deflections, getting in passing lanes. Great. Markieff played well. Markieff played the least amount of minutes of the rotation players besides Dwight. He played 14. He had 8 points, 3 for 6 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. He had a big 3 where the Heat, I think, cut it to 18 in, like, the middle of the fourth. He made a big 3. 3 rebounds from Markieff, 1 assist, 2 turnovers. One other thing about this game, and it's clear that Kendrick Nunn will probably be starting for Goran Dragic. Kendrick Nunn, an undrafted rookie, he showed no fear in NBA Finals game. And I really think it helps the fact there's no fans, because his mentality would have been so much different if 20,000 Laker fans were screaming at him. And I really want the Lakers to win by 40 or 50, and they probably would if they were at home court, real home court. Also, before I go to the Miami Heat stats, I would just like to say that I listen to Bill Simmons, I say this a lot, and he picked the Heat in 6. And I don't take pleasure in him being wrong, but I think he's delusional. There is an advantage everywhere, and Jimmy Butler did not do a great job on LeBron, and LeBron just took control of the game. There was no ball pressure on LeBron whenever he had the elbow and was looking for someone. I don't know why. There was rarely double teams, and whenever he got around to the paint and got a step on someone, it was over. Just uncontested layups. Jimmy Butler, he played solid offensively. 33 minutes, 23 points, 8 for 13 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, made all 5 of his free throws, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 turnovers for a negative 14. Keep in mind, the Lakers won by 18. So you're going to hear some crazy plus-minus stats, all right? And keep your ears prepared for this. Jay Crowder, 24 minutes, 12 points, played no defense on Anthony Davis, 4 for 8 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3, 2 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a minus 21. Bam Adebayo, once again, 21 minutes, 8 points, only made 2 shots. Hopefully he's okay, I guess. Minus 12. Duncan Robinson, 27 minutes, zeros across the board except for 4 rebounds for a negative 8. Goran Dragic, 14 minutes, 6 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound, 1 turnover, 2 steals. He was a +1, only positive player on the starting lineup. And get ready for this. The guy who scored 37 points against the Celtics. Tyler Hero, 30 minutes, played the second most minutes on the team beside Jimmy Butler. 14 points. He took 18 shots. Tyler Hero, rookie, took the most shots of anybody on the Heat. He was 6 for 18, missed 12 shots, 2 for 8 from 3, missed 1 free throw. He had a critical and 1 where he cut it to like 12, and he missed the free throw in the fourth quarter. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, and his plus-minus was a negative 35. Andre Iguodala, supposedly the LeBron stopper. A guy who's, past his prime, might as well be 60 years old. 25 minutes, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 turnover. The LeBron stopper was a minus 25. Solomon Hill, arguably the worst basketball player in the league, one of the most overpaid players of all time. When the Pelicans gave him a huge contract for no reason. 18 minutes, 4 points, 3 rebounds, +3. Derrick Jones Jr., he was in at the end, did nothing, 2 points. Kendrick Nunn's the only guy who actually played really well, Kendrick Nunn. I got a lot of respect for him for coming out like that. Put the team on his back at the end. Kind of garbage time points, but not really. Lakers were actually really trying to defend him. 19 minutes, 18 points. That's a point a minute. 8 for 11 from the field for 72%. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnovers, +8. Kelly Olynyk in 18 minutes was a +14. 4 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. I think they should play Olynyk more. I'm surprised they didn't bring in Miles Leonard just to see what would happen. But Olynyk brings you size, man. Olynyk must be like maybe 6'10". He's 6'11", all right? He could bother Anthony Davis. He'll definitely put up more resistance than Jay Crowder. But there's the stats, guys. I don't want to be a predictor because that's not the business I'm in. But I don't see a universe where the Heat win one game unless a Laker gets hurt. And more specifically, LeBron James or Anthony Davis. I think this is a sweep. I think this is over. Pat Riley should be embarrassed. I remember 2004, I believe, when the Heat won the finals against the Mavericks. I'm sorry, 2006, when the Heat won the finals against the Mavericks. And Stan Van Gundy was the coach, and Pat Riley came down, pretty much dismissed Stan Van Gundy and won the ring for them that year. Obviously, Pat Riley won't come down, but I'm sure he wants to, because that was an abysmal display of NBA professional basketball by the Miami Heat. The 5th seed. Remember, they're the 5th seed. 5th seed. There is no universe, I know I said that already, where the Celtics, Raptors, Bucks, or who's the 4th team? Celtics, Raptors, Bucks. I guess Sixers, if you want to say that. or Pacers would ever play defensive effort like that. Because, I wanted the Celtics for the historical matchup, the rivalry, but we took on a team that was just not ready for the quote-unquote big stage of a bubble. But, yeah. All right. I'm KB24 Status, Charles Ryan. Kobe24 MP3 are yours truly, the biggest Lakers fan in the world. I just posted a video called Hollywood Nights earlier today. It's another montage. I hope you guys like it. Let me know. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't. If you're listening this far, it's been, half an hour. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it. All right. I'll see you guys on, I believe it's Friday night. I'm pretty sure. Take care. Go Lakers.
No one's gonna take me alive. The time has come to make things right. You and I must fight for our rights. You and I must fight to survive. No one's gonna take me alive. The time has come to make things